Jan Molendijk full report completed about Havana Syndrome. Who looks at the map from Holland known things getting useless to protect people. Because as everyone can see, the whole of the Netherlands seems to be under radiation. 5G network is concerned about more aggressive radio frequencies, it goes faster and is less nature-friendly. 10 or more Wi-Fi connections in one house from other connections is also highly unhealthy for survival on Earth. This image shows how roughly the working method is of a transmission tower. As early as 1928, the International Congress proposed of radiologists a committee and those recommendations was preparing for the safe application of ionizing radiation in medical diagnostic research. Atomic attacks. Dangers of ionizing radiation still grossly underestimated. Quacks sold radium salts dissolved in water as a strengthening resource. Also known were the watchers whose hands were coated with luminescent radium-containing paint. The atomic attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki eventually war contribute greatly to the full awareness of the short and long-term hazards of ionizing radiation. The amount of ionizing radiation to which people exposure is expressed in sievert, SV. Usually the measure millisieverts is used, MSV. The National Institute for Public Health and the Environment, RIVM, keeps the total amount average radiation among the Dutch per year. This amounted to 2.6 millisieverts in the year 2013. Of this, about half from artificial sources. These include medical applications of radiation such as X-rays and radiotherapy for cancer. Two types of effects of ionizing radiation. Effects of ionizing radiation on an organism vary, depending on the amount and duration of radiation. There are roughly two types of effects. The effects at high doses are called deterministic. Above a certain dose threshold they act immediately and with security on. We then have to think of radiation amounts on the order of 500 millisieverts or more. At such doses, tissues and organs are directly affected, damaged, such as skin, intestines, lungs and kidneys. They no longer function properly. They are the result of death or loss of function in a relatively large amount of cells in a tissue or organ. Burns can also occur. As the radiation dose increases, the damage, not only in frequency, but also in severity. No threshold dose. Other effects of ionizing radiation are called stochastic. They can be used with any radiation dose developed. There is no threshold dose, although at low doses the risk of harm is unlikely. With increasing dose, the risk of and frequency of harmful effects. Stochastic effects arise as a result of changes in individual cells in the body. The cells can die or touch the DNA damaged. This can cause chromosome abnormalities and yield mutations or uninhibited cell division, cancer. A change of a chromosome in a sex cell can lead to genetic abnormalities in offspring. The conclusion of damage to the DNA material is not only in humans but applies to all life on Earth. Crops of our food are also affected. Types of radioactive particles. Effects of ionizing radiation also depend on the species radioactive particles to which a person is exposed. Some radioactive atoms spread evenly by the body, such as cesium. Concentrate. Others focuses on one or more organs, for example iodine, that targets the thyroid gland. Some people are more sensitive to ionizing radiation than others. Fetuses and children are the most sensitive for the effects of ionizing radiation. In embryo and fetus is the development of different organs very sensitive to radiation. Especially during development of the central nervous system between the 8th and 24th week after conception. Children are more sensitive to radiation. Final note: everyone should understand that damage to DNA is a threat to the survival of humans on Earth just like all other life. Just before COVID-19 arose, the Netherlands and other countries, among others, had a sales auction about the frequencies of the 5G network, which may indicate that COVID-19 and the bird flu originated from this.